So we already learnt about local maxima and local minima. We learnt different ways of procedures, first derivative test, second derivative test, and nth derivative test to find local maxima and local minima. Okay, and now about global maxima, maxima and absolute maxima. See, all these three words represent same concept. Okay, you may call global maxima or maxima or absolute maxima. In the same way, global minima, minima or absolute minima. For y is equals to f of x in the interval a. See, for y is equals to f of x, in particularly that function f of x is a continuous function, right? See, we have an interval ab. In that interval ab, we need to find out global maxima. See, first suppose, you just think about this. I have x-axis, I have an interval ab. Somewhere I have a here, somewhere I have b here. See, a and b. We need to analyze the nature of the graph or behavior of the function y is equals to f of x in this boundary, in the interval ab. And in this interval ab, we need to find out global maxima and global minima. See how the graph of that y is equal to f of x will be in this boundary ab, in this interval ab. First, suppose if the graph is like this, you just have a look. If the graph is like this, so if the graph is like this, then this function has, just have a look. See, if the graph is like this, then this function has here one local maxima and here one local minima. Then for sure, when you analyze the graph, this point is corresponding to global maxima again, this point is corresponds to global minima again. Because in between this a and b, this is the graph and there is one local maxima and one local minima. So those values are directly corresponds to global maxima and global minima. But for suppose if the graph of the function is different, okay, what I am going to tell you is, for suppose I am going to give you, for suppose if this is the graph, see, you just trace this green color part, okay, you just trace this green color part. If this is the graph of y is equals to f of x in the interval ab, then in this graph, see, it has, this is a local maxima point, this is a local maxima point, this is a local minima point, and this is another local minima point. Okay, see, if you say this local maxima point is possible at alpha 1, and if you say this local maxima point is possible at some alpha 2, okay, as well this local minima at beta 1 and local minima at beta 2. So this graph, see, this green color graph has two local maxima points as well two local maxima values. There are f of alpha 1 and f of alpha 2, and it has two local minima values. They are f of beta 1 and f of beta 2. Among these two, we need to find out the minimum value and which corresponds to global minima. Minimum of these two values is the global minimum of the function, whereas maximum of these two is nothing but the global maxima of the function. See, whereas for this given problem, at alpha 1 and at alpha 2, if you look, this is the maximum point. At beta 1 and beta 2, if you look, this is the minimum point. So f of beta 2 is global minima, f of alpha 2 is global maximum. I think the discussion is clear for everybody. Okay, so in the given interval, you need to locate local maxima points as well local minima points. Among those local maxima values, maximum value is the global maxima. Among those local minima values, minimum value is the global minima. Once again I tell you, okay, you just have a look. To find global maxima and global minima in an interval AB of a function, first of all, you just locate an interval, okay? Another graph I will give you. See, okay? See, first suppose if this is A and you just take it as B, so in this boundary of AB, we need to think about the graph of the function f of x. Okay, for that function there may be many local maxima and local minima points. Okay, you just think about the graph, how the sketch of the graph will See, first suppose if it is the graph, possible in many other ways, right? So this is one local maxima, this is one local maxima, this is one local maxima, this is one local minima, this is one local minima, this is one local minima. So among these three, this is the maximum one. So that point is corresponds to global maxima. Among these three, this is the minimum. So this point is corresponds to global minima. Is it clear for everybody? Or suppose the given boundary of interval AB, the graph is like this. Okay, so local maxima, local maxima, local maxima, local maxima, and this is local minima, local minima, and local minima. Among these four values, this is global maxima, and among these four values, this is global minima. Okay, but since in an interval AB we are discussing, sometimes we need to check those boundary values also to decide global maxima and global minima. Once again I will give you, just have a look. Here we have A, here we have B. In this boundary AB, we need to check. For suppose, yeah, the graph may be like this. If it is the graph, see, usually what are the local maxima points? This is one local maxima point, this is one local maxima point, and it is local minima point, and it is local minima point. But see, among these two values, if you compare, this value is maximum one, but if you observe, the graph is still moving like that, and this is also a functional value. At A, this functional value is f of B, f of A. So we need to compare these three values to find global maxima. Among these three, this f of A is maximum, so f of A is the global maxima. And again, among these three, if you compare, this is the minimum value, so this point is corresponds to f of B, so this f of B is the global minima. Okay. Sometimes to find global maxima and global minima, we need to include boundary values also. Okay, see, this A and B are the boundaries of that interval, so we need to include those functional values also. For suppose if in the interval AB, okay, this is A, this is B, this is x-axis and this is AB. If the graph is like this, if the graph is like this, then at A, this is the boundary value, this is local maxima, this is local maxima. For sure, this f of A is smaller than these two global maxima values. So in that case, f of A won't play any role there. Okay, but see, and in the same way, for suppose if the graph is moving like this, in this case, this is local minima, but f of B value is smaller than this local minima value. So here local minima is not at this, local minima is at this point, but whereas global minima is at this B, f of B is the global minima. So with this complete discussion, what I am going to conclude you is global maxima is equals to maximum of f of A, comma, f of alpha 1, comma, f of alpha 2 and so on, f of B. Okay, here alpha 1, alpha 2 are the local maxima points. Okay, in the same way, if you mention global minima, that is equals to minimum of f of A, comma, f of beta 1, comma, f of beta 2, comma, and so on, comma, f of B. Among these values, the minimum one is the global minima. Here beta 1, beta 2 and so on, everything are local minima values. Okay, so this is basically the fundamental rule. To finalize this rule, I just moved with these graphs. Okay, have a look. Finally, from the discussion, we conclude that first of all, for the given continuous function, we need to find local maxima and local minima points. If alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on are local maxima points, then the maximum value of the functional values at these points included with f of a and f of b is the global maximum, and the minimum value of the functional values at these points included with f of a and f of b is the global minimum. Okay, how we derived it? Just by observing the graph. Okay, see, all these are local maxima points, all these are local minima points. In another way, this global maxima is also mentioned as, this global maximum is equals to maximum of f of a comma f of alpha 1, f of beta 1. You just consider everything. You just consider the functional values of all critical points and f of a, f of b. All together you need to check, and the maximum among all these things is the global maximum, and the global minima is simply nothing but minimum of f of a, and at the end you need to include f of b, and meanwhile you just use all the functional values at the critical points, f of alpha 1, f of beta 1 and everything. The minimum of all this list is global minimum, and the maximum of all this list is global maximum. Either you may use this rule or you may go with this rule. Both are same actually, just think a while. Okay, and based on this we are going to solve some problems to find global maxima and global minima. Right? First of all, we need to find local maxima and local minima using derivative tests. After that we need to find global maxima and global minima using this simple laws. Okay, have a look. So we learned that local maxima, local minima, and we mentioned you about global maxima and global minima. Global maxima is the maximum of the functional values at critical points and at the end points of the interval AB. Whereas global minima and global maxima. Global minima is the minimum of the functional values at the critical points and at the end values of the interval. See here, critical points are nothing but turning points, or you may say maxima minima points. So to find this global maxima or this global minima, first of all we need to find out these critical points. Okay, that in the sense we may call them as local maxima and local minima points, and at those points along with this ends of the interval we need to find out the functional values. Among all those intervals, among all those functional values, maximum 1 is the global maximum, minimum 1 is the global minima, and I am going to solve this example now. See, the problem is about finding global maxima and global minima, right? Global maxima and global minima are also termed as absolute maxima and absolute minima, and sometimes directly termed as maxima and minima. So the thing is about finding global maxima and global minima for this function f of x is equals to 2x cube minus 9x square plus 12x plus 6 in the interval closed interval 0 to 2 and in the interval open interval 1 to 3. So this is one problem and that is the other problem. Okay, right. First of all I am going to find out this global maxima and minima in this interval. For that, as I said, first of all we need to find out the maximum minima points. So to find out that maximum minima points we need f dash of x. F dash of x is simply nothing but derivative of this function. Since it is 2x cube, its derivative is what? 2 into 3x square, and that is 6x square minus 9x square. For x square it is 2x, so 18x plus 12. So f dash of x is equals to 6x square minus 18x plus 12, and that is equals to 6 of x square minus 3x plus 2, and that is equals to 6 of x minus 1 into x minus 2. This is f dash of x. See, for maxima minima points, okay, just I am terming it as maxima minima points, you may call them as critical points. For maxima minima points, f dash of x is equals to 0. See, if this f dash of x is equals to 0, this is 0 at either x is equals to 1 or at x is equals to 2. So the value of x is 1 or 2. Okay. Since x is equals to 1 or 2, so these 2 points are corresponding to either for maxima or for minima points. Okay. So these 2 points are corresponding to local maxima or minima points. See, no need to check whether one belongs to maxima point or minima point. No need to check whether 2 belongs to maxima point or minima point. These are maxima minima points. That's enough. Okay. And now in the interval 0 to 2, in the interval 0 to 2, if you observe, see 1 and 2. 2 is already included in the interval. 1 is in between the interval. So in the interval 0 to 2, to find maxima minima, we need to check at 0 and 1 and 2. Okay. So what I am going to tell you is, if you wish to sketch the rough graph, okay, see somewhere here we have 0, somewhere here we have 2, and in between 0 and 2 we have 1. We need to analyze the graph of the given function in between this 0 to 2. Right. What is the functional values at 0? At 0, f of 0, see replace x with 0, 0, 0 and 6. F of 0 is 6. What you say about the value of f of 1? Functional value at 1. At 1, if you check 2 minus 9 plus 12 plus 6. Just have a check. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 minus 9 is minus 1. 12 minus 1 is 11. F of 1 is 11. Then what you say about f of 2? We need to replace x with 2. Okay? Need some calculation, right? 2. 2 cube is 8. 8 2s is 16. Minus 2 square is 4. 4 9s is 36. Plus 12 into 2 is 24 and plus 6. Just have a check. 24 plus 6 is 30. 30 plus 16, 46. 46 minus 36, it is 10. So f of 2 is equals to 10. When, see, if you wish to sketch the graph of this function in the interval 0 to 2, at 0, somewhere the functional value is 6. At 1, the functional value is at 11. Okay, if this point is corresponding to 11. And at 2, the value is 10. So maybe bit smaller than that 11 here. Okay. See, for sure the graph passes through these 3 points. So this is the sketch of the graph. In the interval 0 to 2, this is the sketch analyzation of the graph. And if you analyze in this graph, this point 1 is corresponding to local maxima, and in this interval that is only the maxima, so that value is global maxima. So this 11 is global maxima. This 11 is global maximum value, and that global maximum exists at x is equals to 1. Then what to say about global minima? See, when you analyze, see, this 2 is usually local minima, but this 2 is not global minima. Why? Because at 0 the functional value is 6, right? So this point is corresponding to what? Global minima. So this 6 is corresponding to global minima. Okay. Usually after getting maximum minima points as 1, 2, you may feel that these 2 points are corresponding to local maxima and local minima. Okay. Clearly true. 1 is corresponding to local maxima and 2 is corresponding to local minima. But local maxima, local minima are different from global maxima and global minima. Okay. To check global maxima and global minima, we need to trace the graph from 0 to 2. In between we have one maxima minima, one critical point, and that's the sketch. Okay. See, we calculated the functional values as 6, 11, 10. So this 11 is global maxima, that 6 is global minima. See, as we mentioned, if you wish to write formula, see, as a statement, global maxima is equals to maximum of f of 0 comma f of 1 comma f of 2. Likewise, we need to write that is equals to maximum of 6 comma 11 comma 10. Among these three, 11 is maximum. So f of 1 is equals to 11. 11 is global maximum and x is equals to 1. As well for minimum also we need to write in the same way. So 6 is global minimum and that global minimum exists at 0. So this is something about identifying global maxima and global minima in the interval 0 to 2. And identifying global maxima and global minima in the other interval is bit different, and I will discuss. Okay, you just have a look till now. Then, to find this global maxima and global minima in this interval 1 to 1, 3, you just have a look. This interval 0 to 2 is a closed interval. There 0 and 2 are included in our discussion, but this interval is excluded. See, open interval 1 to 3. So now I am going to discuss the global maxima and global minima in the interval 0 to 3. See, in the interval 0 to 3 we have the points what? 1 and 2, both the points are included. Okay. See, 1 and 2, both the points are included. See, if you wish to check what are the values at see 0 and 3 are the end points 0, 1 and 2 are the critical points, that in the sense maximum minimum points, and the other end point is 3. So if you wish to check the values, f of 0 as I mentioned 6, f of 1 which is equals to 10, I think so. F of 1 is 10 or 11? 11, right. And what you say about f of 2? F of 2 is equals to 10. And what you say about the value of f of 3? See, f of 3, if you calculate, 3 cubed is 27, 2 is 54, 3 square is 9, 9 nines is 81, and here it is 3, 12, 3 is 36 plus 6. Okay? You just try to calculate. 36 plus 6 is 42. 54 minus 81. See, what is the value of 54 minus 81? You just try, just calculate. This is 42, right? 42. Okay? 6 and 9. 96 minus 81. 96 minus 81 is 15, right? F of 3 is equals to 15. Okay? Right. And if you wish to sketch the graph of these two, see, this, sketch the graph of this function in the interval 0 to 3. So on the number line, somewhere you just take 0. This is x-axis, right? Somewhere this is 3 and this is 1, this is 2. In between this 0 to 3, we are going to check the graph, okay? Right? At 0, the functional value is 6. Actually, graph is not required, okay? But to solve the problem, to mention maximum and minimum, we need to compare these values. If you compare these values, we will say that what? We will say that the maximum thing is 15. So we may treat that global maximum as 15, and we may treat that global minimum as 6. But since it's an open interval, okay, so 3 is not included here, so global maximum not exist. So, see, to explain that, to understand this global maximum, global minimum concept in this interval, I am trying to give you the graph. F of 0 is 6. At 0, somewhere this is 6. At 1, the value is 11. So somewhere at this point, if it is 11, at 1 the value is 11, and at 2 the value is 10. So if this point is corresponds to 10, at 2 this is 10, and at 3 the value is 15. So maybe treat it like at 15. That's the point. So we need to sketch the graph in this particular region, 0 to 3. So at 0, 6, and at 1 it is 10, and at 2 it is 10. Okay, and 1, 11, at 2, 10, and then at 3, 15. Again it moves like that. This is the sketch, rough sketch of the graph in the open interval 1 to 3. Okay, see, I included 0 also, but since we need it from 1 to 3, right? So from 1 to 3, okay. From 1 to 3. In this interval, if you observe, the minimum value is exist at 2, but whereas maximum is possible at 3. But since it is an open interval, this point is not included in our consideration, okay? We need to use an open circle at this point, okay? And that's why actually maxima exist at 3, but 3 is not included in this interval, and that's why this problem has no global maxima. Global maxima for this function in the interval not exist. Whereas global minima exist and exist at 2, and that value is f of 2, which is equals to 10. That's my conclusion. You just have a look. See, for this 1 to 3, f of 0 is equal to 6 is not required actually. We need to pay attention on this open interval 1 to 3. Okay. So usually we need to mention the maximum of these 3 as global maxima, and the maximum of these 3 is 15. But mentioning 15 as global maxima is not possible here. Why? Because this 3 is not there in our consideration. Okay. And global minima is 10 because 2 is included in this consideration. So global minima exists as 10 and global maxima not exist. So in this way we need to in this way we will calculate global maxima and global minima of different functions in the given intervals, right? So to calculate this global maxima and global minima, we need to concentrate on the functional values at the critical points as well functional values at the end points of the interval also. Okay, this is another example related to that. Have a look. So we need to find out absolute maximum and absolute minimum. As I mentioned, absolute maximum is simply nothing but global maximum, and absolute minimum is simply nothing but global minimum. for the given functions in the given intervals. So the first thing is f of x is equals to sin x plus cos x, and as they mentioned, the given interval is 0 to pi. So in that interval we need to identify local maxima or local minimum points first of all. So for that we need the derivative, right? So calculate f dash of x. F dash of x is equals to derivative of sin x is cos x, whereas derivative of cos x is minus sin x. And for, you may say, maxima minima points, f dash of x is equals to 0. And since f dash of x is equals to 0, cos x minus sin x is equals to 0, and that implies cos x is equals to sin x. And cos x is equals to sin x, and we need to mention the values of x, and that x must be in this interval 0 to pi. And we know that 0 to pi in the sense first quadrant as well second quadrant, right? 0 to pi by 2 and pi by 2 to pi. But in second quadrant, sin is positive whereas cos is negative, so these two cannot be equal. Since these two are equal, so for sure you get a value in the first quadrant, and that value is clearly pi by 4. So x is equals to pi by 4. There exists only one value, right? So finally, for maxima minima, we need to concentrate on the points 0, pi by 4 and pi, because endpoints of the interval 0 and pi, whereas maxima minima critical point is this pi by 4. And see, we need to calculate the functional values at these 3 points. What is f of 0? See, f of 0 is simply, sin 0 plus cos 0. Sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. And what you say about f of pi by 4? F of pi by 4 means sin pi by 4 plus cos pi by 4. We know that sin 45 is 1 by root 2, cos 45 is 1 by root 2, and then if you add, that is 2 by root 2, that is equals to root 2. F of pi by 4 is root 2. And then f of pi. F of pi is sin pi plus cos pi. Okay. Sin pi plus cos pi. What is sin pi and what is cos pi? So let's have a look. Sin pi is directly 0, and whereas coming to cos pi, the value is minus 1. So f of 0 is 1, f of pi by 4 is root 2, f of pi is minus 1. Since it is closed interval, we need to check at 0 and pi compulsory. So when you, no need to bother, okay, just pay attention on these numbers. This is 1, root 2 is approximately 1.4 something, and this is minus 1. Among these three, the maximum value is at root 2. So this point is corresponds to global maxima. And among these three, minus 1 is the minimum value, and this is corresponds to global minima. See, you may say global maxima, global minima, or absolute maxima and absolute minima. They exist at pi by 4 and pi. The values are root 2 and minus 1, right? Have a look. For doubts, raise your hand. Otherwise, try to solve next problem. So, first problem is clear, and then coming to the next one, we need to find out global maxima and global minimum for two mod x in the interval minus 1 to 6. For that, the given function is simply nothing but f of x is equals to 2 modulus of x in the interval minus 1 to 6. So, mod x is either x or minus x, depending on that whether it is positive or negative. So, we need to split this, okay? As we know, modulus of x is minus x for negative values of x, and modulus of x is plus x for positive values of x. I need to split it like this. So 2 into modulus of x is minus x if minus 1 less than or equals to x less than 0, and modulus of x is x if 0 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 6. Finally, our function is, okay, therefore f of x is equals to minus 2x if minus 1 less than or equals to x less than 0, and 2x if 0 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 6. As per the given interval, I am just splitted this function. So the interval is minus 1 to 6. To calculate global maxima or global minima, we need to concentrate on the endpoints of this interval along with the maximum minimum points. For that, we need f dash of x. So f dash of x is simply nothing but, for minus 2x, its derivative is minus 2. So in the interval x minus 1 to 0, and the derivative of 2x is 2. in the interval 0 to 6. See, clearly it conveys that f dash of x is non-zero. Okay, clearly it conveys that f dash of x is non-zero for all x in the given interval. So that concludes that this problem 2 mod x has no local maxima and local minima points. No local maxima, minima points. Since it has no local maxima, minima points, so it is enough to concentrate on these numbers -1 and 6. So when you concentrate on these numbers, f of -1 is simply 2, replacing x with -1, whereas f of 6 is nothing but a 12. F of -1 is 2, f of 6 is 12. Since it has no local maximum minimum points, enough to pay attention on these two. So this 2 is corresponds to minima. What it is? Global minimum of the function in the interval, and this 12 is corresponds to global maxima, or you may say absolute maximum of the function in the given interval. Right? Have a look. No. You just have a look. Just a minute. Okay? See, 2 is not global minima because, just a minute. See, -1 to 0 and 0 to 6, and see, modulus of x is different, right? If x negative, it is minus x. If x positive, it is x. If x is 0, that is directly 0. 2 into 0 at x is equals to 0. Okay, I forgot it. Right. So up to this is okay, and we need to split in 3 possibilities. 0 if x is equals to 0, and then 2x if 0 less than x less than 6, and f dash of x is non-zero for all x not equals to 0, and is equals to 0 for x is equals to 0. Right? So that in a sense, just a minute. So we need to pay attention on this endpoints of the interval -1, 6 along with this 0 also. And if you think about the functional values, as I said, at -1 it is 2, at 0 it is 0, at 6 it is 12. So this 12 is global maximum and this 0 is global minimum. Okay, it's completely based on the definition of mod x. Right? Have a look. So we need to find the greatest value of the function in the interval 0 to 1. Since asking about finding greatest value is simply nothing but finding global maximum. Okay? So greatest maximum, global maximum, absolute maximum, all are same. Okay? So the function is this: f of x is equals to x plus 1 power 1 by 3 minus x minus 1 power 1 by 3 in the interval 0 to 1, and the points are 0, 1. And now we need to concentrate, we need to find out the local maximum minimum points. For that, I need to calculate derivative. F dash of x is equals to derivative of the first function 1 by 3 into x plus 1 to the power 1 by 3 minus 1 minus 1 by 3 into x minus 1 to the power 1 by 3 minus 1, and this is equals to 1 by 3 into x plus 1 to the power minus 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3 into x minus 1 to the power minus 2 by 3. This is f dash of x. And for maximum minimum points, what we need to say? For maximum minimum points, f dash of x is equals to 0, and f dash of x is this: 1 by 3 into x plus 1 power minus 2 by 3 minus 1 by 3 into x minus 1 power minus 2 by 3 is equals to 0. So you just cancel out 1 by 3 and send this x minus 1 power minus 2 by 3 that side. What will happen? X plus 1 minus of x minus 1. Okay. You just cancel out this 1 by 3, and if you send x minus 1 power minus 2 by 3 that side, x plus 1 power minus 2 by 3 is equals to x minus 1 power minus 2 by 3, and from there x plus 1 is equals to x minus 1. Obviously it is a wrong idea. So why? Because we consider that f dash of x is equals to 0. So usually this function has no maximum minimum points, but it has a critical point. As we said, see, critical point means either f dash of x is equals to 0 or f dash x not exist. When you write f dash x once again, as per this, f dash x is equals to 1 by 3 of x plus 1 power minus 2 by 3. X plus 1 power minus 2 by 3 means 1 by x plus 1 power 2 by 3, which is cube root of x plus 1 whole square, minus 1 by cube root of x minus 1 whole square. If you observe, at x is equals to minus 1 comma 1, at these points f dash x, if x is equals to minus 1, it becomes to infinity, and f dash x leads to infinity. So to calculate greatest value of this function, at 1 it leads to infinity, and see, at 1 it leads to infinity, okay? So greatest value is simply nothing but leads to infinity, because 1 is the endpoints of the interval, right? At 0 if you calculate, since it has no local maximum minimum points, our complete concentration is at the endpoints, and we checked the critical points also. Since minus 1 is not included in the interval, leave it, just pay attention on that 1. At 1, the f of 1 is corresponding to infinity. At 0 if you calculate, your answer is 0, right? 0. At 0 it is 0, at 1 it leads to infinity. When you try to sketch the graph, this is 0, this is 1, the problem is the graph is like this. Starting from 0 it leads to infinity. Since the question is about mentioning greatest value, the greatest value of the function, infinity in the sense, not exist actually. Okay, have a look. And that's for the class. Okay.